You might ease up in the breeze. There's a lot of them out there to break. The Children's Band, 410. Always good to be young at heart. I didn't get who that was around the cold Great Lakes, but they pumped something up and they said, maybe you can hear me now. And they said, Motormouth Maul is somebody around the cold Great Lakes. That's what I heard in the world of sound, but I didn't get to hear who it was. Let me get back into receive mode here and see who that might have been in the world of sound I got down. Somebody say you ain't gonna hear him that time. That old man 29 out there on KY said hello, Merry Christmas, and he got up at the mall and somebody said, yeah, you ain't gonna hear nobody with me out here on the radio, but they got squashed. Whoever that was, I'm not sure. Oh well, terrible thing. Another bad attitude station. You wanna do some local talking? I'm sorry.
Well, you don't have to say sorry to nobody, Motormouth Maul.
Or there, old man 29. Take care, my friend. 73. You see ya. Motormouth Maul waving, and I'm a stepping.
Hello, Motormouth Maul 380, smoking Pete waving hand, and you don't have to say sorry to nobody.
Smoking Pete. How about a Smoking Pete 445 Mississippi waving?
I guess nobody could hear me in town here. No doubt about it.
No, probably not. Hey, Smoking Pete 445 in Magnolia waving.
Hello there, 445 Magnolia. Boy, you sound loud and proud over here. Now, it's so loud out there, we didn't know if we could make it across town, but we know we can make it across the country now.
Roger on that. All right, Smoking Pete, man, just heard you in there. I want to say a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you. I hadn't heard you in a long time, and I didn't know if I'd get to you again. Hey, Smoking Pete, have a good one out there, 445 Radio Man. Talk to that.
Roger there, 445 Radio Man. You have yourself a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you, your family, and all your kids. No doubt about it. You have yourself a good one from 380 Smoking Pete out here in Six Ground.
All right, 380 Smoking Pete. Sound like your phone's ringing. We'll let you go. Smoking Pete out there in Cali. 445 Radio Man. We back quiet.
Hello, Radio Man. Hey, I'm going to wish you a Merry Christmas, Radio Man 9 in the Mobile around the coast of California.
All right, back to you, number 9 out there. Hey, number 9 in that Mobile. Shoot, I wish my Mobile would get out like that far. Hey, number 9 in the Mobile around San Fran, around Daly City, 445 Radio Man waving.
50 watts into a 84-foot long antenna, but I appreciate the compliment there. If you think it sounds like 20,000 watts, well, that's great. I ain't got the money to run 20,000 watts, and all I got over here is a big old chunk of aluminum. But I appreciate your complaints out there, because that just goes to show you I'm plugging your ears to break.
Bridge right about now. You gotta be around one that
All right, number 9, we'll holler at you later, man. Motormouth Maul's in there. He's got my ears. Hey, number 9, 445 waved at you. We'll see you.
Both vertical elements are staggered 90 degrees forward of the horizontal elements, fed in phase, and 35 feet off the ground, 800 feet of filistrand, 3-inch boom, and folded dipole feed points with 3-inch sleeve balance. That's all it is, 84 feet long and 320 some odd pounds, and designed and built by me, and it works.
No doubt about it.
Well, if you look at the videos on mine, care from that 20 feet on the tip. It's got a truss on it, made out of, a filastrand and some PVC. And it supports that last little bit, so you can get it all right. I know exactly what he's got a problem with. I don't know why nobody ever does. Well, nobody ever builds a long antenna, but there's nothing wrong with putting truss supports along the boom within itself, And anyway, you take a look at mine, you'll see that little upside down truss at the front of it there. That's all that is there, Break. Oh, what a shame. That's a shame. Yeah, it's when they get that big, there's a tremendous amount of force and a lot of leverage, and there's some things that aren't quite obvious from the very beginning. But yeah, that's he needs to listen to you. He needs to put some more supports on it if it keeps breaking, especially if it keeps breaking in the same place. Doesn't that tell you something? That's pretty funny. Well, it's not funny. It's a shame. But I hope he gets it all squared away and working for him real good there again in the world of sound. Ain't no doubt about that. But yeah, this thing's... I also use 3-inch irrigation pipe on this thing, but the center of it, out to about the last 15, 20 feet on the tips, the whole center section of it's been wrapped by another piece of irrigation pipe. I split it down the middle lengthwise and then wrap it around the whole thing. And then the trick is I use 3-inch irrigation pipe, but I use 2 7/8-inch OD. What was the actual? It was a EMT, a conduit. And it just so happens that the OD of the EMT conduit is exactly snugly perfect to fit inside the irrigation pipe. So I use that for sleeves. It weighs a little bit, but it ain't that bad. And then I doubled up the irrigation pipe, in the center section and staggered the joints. And then the very tips are still 3-inch single wall thickness. It's like 0.65 thickness or whatever the heck it is. But anyway, not real thick, not real heavy or anything, but it's enough to keep it from falling apart. And then 800 feet of filastrand is holding it together.
I tell you what, it is funny. His breaking again is funny. Because he screwed me that last go around. I just had an 80-foot lift for free so I could put it back on. So to me, it is funny.
Wow, you saved him a bundle. You saved him a bundle. Holy smokes. Well, yeah, you got to do it right. And you pay the price for it in the long run for not doing it right, that's for sure.
What? I got an 80-foot lift twice. Twice for free. I got an 80-foot lift.
Wow, you're generous. You got him an 80-foot lift 2 times for free. And, yeah. Well, maybe he's taking that for granted. Maybe that freebie deal ought to stop there, Brig.
Yeah, and the 7-on-40. The 7-on-40 he was supposed to give me. He gave me one. 3-inch boom all bent up, helmets all done out. The mask pipes and boom fleet looked like it had been drugged through the junkyard for 3 years. Yeah, he did me a big favor.
Wow. Ooh, I would say definitely not. Terrible thing. Yikes.
Oh, and then, don't forget about the other time that I went down there and put the 70-foot towers back up for him. The road and throw that shit back up for him, too. Will not happen again, man. Will not happen again.
Yeah, you can only help so many times before you start realizing that it ain't quite worth it.
Well, yeah, you can only get stranded so many times.
Hello there, DX-Land.
Yep. But at least you know when to back away, that's for sure. That's a good thing.
$10 Cobra 200 GPL DX. Anybody Charlie Hugger Traders making that trip?
Didn't work.
Got a copy of my $10 Cobra 200 GPL DX that I picked up last night. Everybody got a copy of this with you?
$700 to $800 for one day.
Holy smokes, that's expensive. Yeah, I know. I did mine. I had wasn't cheap. Oh man, I see a stink bug across the room. I hate these things. Let me go get, well, if I don't touch him, he won't stink. Those doggone black stink bug beetle things, there's one across the room crawling along the floor. And, man, they smell to high heaven if he lets out a stink. Anyway, yeah, and then I had the little LGJ or LJG or whatever the heck it was, man lift, you know, just so I could get up at the 35-foot high mark above the top of the tower, on the top of the stinger there to bolt the thing together. And that wasn't cheap. I can imagine, though, man, holy smokes, an 80-footer for a day is $700 a day. That gets expensive quick there, Break. Yeah, whatever the model was, I forget what the, I think you know more about this than I do. I think that's no doubt about it. I like this way for the direct, you know, the expensive sideways and tilted up and down, and then the arm came out, and then, yeah, man, it sure did its job real good. I wish I had one of those, but I suppose renting one once in a great while would be probably the better bet to go.
I got a 60-foot. I work at Sunco Rental. I was shop foreman there, so I get whatever I want for free, but I actually own a 60-footer.
Oh, wow, man, that's awesome. Yeah, sure. I think what you could do is park that in your backyard and just put a little bit of a small mast, a stinger on it, and put your antenna on it, and just raise it up and talk off that there, Break.
You know what? I never thought about that, but you're right. I never even thought about that motormouth. Yeah, I can do that. Stay out of the backyard and raise it up 60 foot. My ground's like 60 foot now. It's above my flat side. So yeah, put stuff to work. I can do that. But I tell you what, man.
Audio DX unit number 616. Oh, unit number 616 with the...
That's a good thing. By the way, speaking of lifts, you know, you can also change and see what kind of performance differences there are between the antenna at different heights. And I haven't yet done it. I haven't cranked mine up yet. Mine's still sitting down at 35 feet. But I'm counting to see what's going to happen when I go out there and raise this thing back up. It'll go all the way to 84 feet at the boom height. So, but I haven't done that yet. It's just been talking so good down here at 35 feet. It's not even funny. So, yeah, I one of these days I'll have to raise the thing up there a little bit.
Here's doing good, man. I got over 20 miles on you, so keep on fire. 25 years talking.
I've been talking to the Cold Great Lakes, but I got some conditions in there, Break.